Hello!
Hello everybody, how are you all? Well, here we are at long last. Feels like sort of a hibernation that's just going on and on and on and on and on.
Doesn't it? Oh my gosh, how are you guys doing? Are you okay? Well, we thought we'd reach out, didn't we?
Yeah.
On Beltane Eve.
Because you're our family. And it's not been easy for so many of us, but we want to focus on the positive about bringing in the light on this auspicious day. So we're just going to have a little chat and then we're going to do a couple of readings as well. So welcome.
Welcome on Beltane Eve. And I love Beltane, don't you?
It is, it's amazing.
You know, like Barbara just said, it is a time of bringing in the light. And of course it was, it's one of the, I think it's like the only pagan festival that hasn't actually been Christianized. And so today we can still when we can go out, which obviously isn't this year, you know, we've always celebrated May Day with a maypole, skipping around a maypole. And of course that represents the phallic symbol of the male, because this is a very sexual time. Are we allowed to say sexual?
I'm sure we can.
Very sexual time, and it was a union between the goddess and the god. Then they would consummate and then give birth to the plants, the trees, just everything. So this is a really fruitful time. If you had planted seeds and sown your dreams in bulk, this is when your ideas and everything will now start to birth.
So what we want to do is just do a little reading for you. I'm going to be using the Witch's Kitchen cards, which is really appropriate. And thank you everyone for ordering some, because at this moment in time, a lot of us are in our kitchens and doing things that we haven't done for ages, like sewing. I've got my knitting ready and sewing and getting into the kitchen and just finding out all about the different herbs, or herbs as you would say in America. So what we're going to do is a little reading with the Witch's Kitchen deck, and let's just see what we have in store for ourselves, because it's really important. This is a time for going within. You know, a lot of us, I know in particular myself and Flavia for the last 10 years have been going, oh my goodness me, I really need time to clean the house. I really need time to do cooking. My knitting's sitting there, my sewing's sitting there, and all these things we've got to do.
And time for ourselves.
And time for ourselves, most important, because, and guess what? We've got it now. So rather than going, oh no, this is not so good, take that time. We're doing it. You know, we've got to practice what we teach. So what we're doing now is we're taking that time. We really learned so much. I've learned a lot more about myself, and I know Flavia has as well. And it's an ongoing experience, which is incredible. And we can create our own future and our own destiny. So I know a lot of you out there at the moment have got new ideas and new things coming to fruition. So let's see what the cards say, will we, Flavia?
Absolutely. As you're shuffling that, I just want to say, you know, this is a time of change, a change for all of us and for the planet as well. And it's so important. And we truly, truly believe that this is a chance for Mother Earth, for Gaia to completely heal herself. And I know that so many of you absolutely agree with us as well. So this is time for us to get to really know who we are. Get to know yourself inside out. Why have you come here? What have you come here for? Have you done your mission yet? What is it that really makes your heart sing? And I know you might be thinking, oh my God, but we're all trapped inside. But you know that everything starts from within. Oh. And that's where you get your power from. It really is. What are you doing?
One's just flew off,
okay,
because I was shuffling. One flew off. I chose one, and then this one just decided it was time to say, you know, I'm coming out here. So there's two. This is the first one. This is the one that fell down. So I'm going to do this one first of all, and Flavia's going to show it. And it's tea tree and binding. Well, of course.
And obviously you can see that back to front.
So it looks a little bit...
Tea tree oil. Oh, it's so strong and astringent, isn't it, tea tree?
It really is, and really powerful. And for binding, now when we talk about binding, and I've had experiences of that, I've done binding before in my life, and I guarantee you it does work. So this is about binding something or someone that you want to get rid of. You're binding it up. You're saying that, look, this cannot happen any longer. So what this card represents to all of you is about binding what no longer serves your purpose.
Yeah.
Because how many times does it take to actually get something, to actually get the reality of things? You know, this is a big wake-up call for all of us. And a lot of us, we felt it coming, we saw it coming, but we didn't know what form it was going to be or how it would be. And so when we bind something, for example, we can bind and say, look, I'm no longer going to do this patterning any longer. I'm no longer going to say these words, or I'm no longer going to do these actions. So by binding, we're saying no longer, as you bind something. So you would get an item and you would bind it and say, no longer will I be a part of what is in my past. So we're getting rid of, we're binding and removing. So that could be your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, of what's going on. Because at this moment in time, what we need to bind is most of all ourselves, because we need to bind ourselves to our path. And what that means is to say, okay, rather than playing at it, I'm going to dedicate myself, I'm going to bind myself to the craft of whatever you actually believe in. And also it's about getting rid of what no longer serves your highest purpose. You know, we've got a lot of time on our hands at the moment. The monkey chatter brain is going chat, chat, chat. And I tell you what, in this time of not being able to speak to people or hug or tell people you love them, and it's so important you do that, we bind ourselves into all sorts of conditionings of what we can and can't do. And what I'm asking you all now to do is unbind from what you've set. So in other words, if you've conditioned yourself and programmed yourself to do a certain thing, unbind that and then bind yourself to other ideas, dreams that you have, and create what we call a binding bundle. So write your intentions down and get some sage or some herbs or I'm looking at the next one, it's nutmeg. Get something that you can bind up and put it into the kitchen. You know, there's many different things you can do, but what feels right for you. So it's a binding time, a time of stepping into who you are and saying, this is for real. I'm going to do this. The universe has given me the opportunity to do this, and that's what's going to happen. And the other one we've got that came out is Nutmeg and Luck. Now, it's about being lucky. So this is a card that says you are going to be fortuitous, you're going to be lucky. There's things that are going to happen for you as well. Letters, you know, this is opening up to all new possibilities for you. So I'm going to ask you this question now. Do you feel lucky? And if not, why not? You're lucky every day the sun comes out. You're lucky every day to breathe the air. You're lucky every day to be alive. So this card is all about feeling that luck. It's not about winning the lottery, though it would be nice for all of us. But it's about being lucky in love, be lucky in relationships, being lucky in whatever you may do and whatever you're dreaming of or thinking of. Don't be stagnant. Stagnant water doesn't go anywhere. Be like the river. Allow your luck to flow out like the river, and bring yourself to the ocean, to the sea. And enjoy it. Enjoy this time, because this time will be over before we know it. And there's no point in looking back and going, you know what, I would lay in my bed all day, or I just sat there staring at the four walls, or feeling sorry for myself, or beating myself up because my mind. Be lucky and take that opportunity and reach out. You know, I've enjoyed quite a few days lying in bed doing nothing. It's awesome. But this is a time to be lucky in love, be lucky in relationships, be lucky in your home, your house, your family, and bring that luck and fortitude into your house.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Do you know, I love the Witch's Kitchen. And it's funny, actually, because we actually created this because we have always felt like, what would happen if everything that we knew was taken away from us? And we had to actually rely on nature and not going to the supermarket for our foods and everything. And of course, or anything medicinal. And we created this knowing that everything you can find in your house, from spices to an old onion, will help bring about cures and different recipes that witches originally used, of course, back in the day before modern times, and we just love it. And actually, and we know a lot of you do. And,
we've been watching on
the
Facebook.
sales as well, and all your readings with this deck.
Yeah.
And so
and seeing everybody in their kitchens and in
Oh
their
my
gardens. You're
God,
lucky.
it's
We live
amazing.
in a flat, so there's no garden for us, though we have a big park down the road.
yeah, it's just like at the back, so it is like our garden.
It is
really,
a rather
isn't it?
big garden,
Yeah.
but you've got all of that. So enjoy what you've got, which is really important. So what have you got for us,
Well,
Flavia?
I just really felt drawn to do a dark goddess reading, because you know what, we are all stuck inside, and Barbara's mentioned the mind quite a lot. And you know, what is it that saying used to say, like, the devil makes work for idle hands? And sometimes when we're stuck with just our mind chit-chattering away, sometimes we can start going and meandering down pathways we don't necessarily want to. Or you may find that you're getting like irritated with people if you're stuck in with the same people. Who's getting on your nerves? Who's really...
Yeah, you can bind them up.
Yeah, who's winding you up? Or are you worried about your state of mind? What are you doing? Are you snapping more than usual? Or are you worried? Or are you becoming like a drama queen because everything's getting too much? What's going on? So I'm just going to pull a card here and see what the dark goddess has to teach us in this situation at this time. So usually when I always hold the cards to my hand, or it's heart, so I can really have that connection. And just asking the question as I shuffle. Oh my God, that just stayed in my hand. So that has to definitely be one. Oh my God, I've just seen what it is as well. I'm just going to see if there's something else. Sometimes there isn't. Oh, that has as well. I love working like that with the deck. Okay, and I'm just going to feel right just to... Anything else? No, I don't feel that it is. Right, okay. So the very first one I pulled, you're not going to believe it. It's our good old friend, Kali the Destroyer. We've got her as destruction in this card. Look at this. Kali the Destruction. Because you know what? When you do start thinking too much, you can actually start really having self-destruction through your mind. But Kali, as you know, she is the Hindu goddess of endings. She is of endings, and quite often she comes up as the death card, which most people are frightened of. But actually, death card is all about endings, just the death of the past. Now, Barbara had that binding card for in the Witch's Kitchen, and when she was talking about that, I really felt that this is a time for us all just to cut the cords to the past. If you're remembering and harbouring things that happened to you that you judge as unfair or not right, whatever is going on, whether it's in the past or just in the recent past, that will be eating you up inside, and it's time to completely let go of that, bind all that up and get rid of it, because the only place you are in is actually the present. And Kali wants you just to step away from that past, because you've now got this amazing opportunity to become who you really want to become. You've got all this time now to work on you, to work on your soul, to work on yourself, and to banish all that you really feel you don't like about yourself anymore, and to move forward, to become the best version of yourself. You've got this time now to meditate and pray and read, or just really keep fit. And, you know, you might want to sort of like, you know, create your ideal body, or go on a diet, or whatever it is that's going to
I've been
make
trying
you...
to do that for years.
Yeah, is this really going to be enough time?
It's the chocolate.
So this is, if you really want it, if you really want to put the past behind you, Kali is helping you now. And in fact, she's helping you whether you want it or not, because this is the time for everything to go, because everything, all the old... I don't know, all the old ways really that don't serve the earth anymore are being completely stripped down, and that includes within you. So everything that doesn't serve you is will be stripped down, but it's best if you're part of it. So Kali's in your life, but she is the bringer of great news, because it means that if you get rid, something amazing is going to be waiting for you. And I just want to say, we've also got this beautiful goddess here, but she's bringing the guilt trip. She's bringing a guilt trip to you now, Because how many of you are actually sitting there thinking, I feel really guilty because I haven't really done anything today. I feel really guilty because I'm in isolation and I can't go and see my mum. You know, how many of you feel guilty that, I don't know, that whatever it is, remember that as well, guilt eats you up and plays havoc with that mind. So it's a bit of a mental health, reading today, I feel. Don't feel guilty because guilt is your worst enemy. Guilt invites in her sister shame, and it's not a good place to be. So just banish and bind with tea tree oil any of those guilty feelings, because there's no I should have, or I ought to, any of that. You're just doing the best that you possibly can. And if you feel that you haven't done the best you can, then you've got the opportunity now to change that. And we've just had Anubis, that's our beautiful black cat, for those of you who don't know. Come on, Anubis. Come on, darling. You usually go.
He's usually like that. He's a bit shy. There he is. Yeah.
Oh, look at him.
Yes.
So
this is Anubis.
Isn't he beautiful boy? So he always joins us in with our magic
when we're doing our spells and our work and the hearth and the cauldron. So
Beltane blessings.
Beltane blessings to you all. And it's really important with everything that's going on at the moment and all the cards is just to honour yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself. Bring that light in, not just to the hearth and the home. Bring that light in here. Yeah.
And just shine.
Yes.
Even if you're stuck inside, just shine, because it's that energy, you know. Just be as positive as you possibly can. And just shine as brightly as you can, because you know what? Spirit sees it.
Yes.
And Spirit and the universe will only match what you are sending out.
And look what's happening with the earth now. You know, the ozone layer, it's cleared
Everything's
up.
repairing.
Everything's repairing. Mother Earth's doing it. Let us do it now.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave you with a lovely Beltane invocation that Flavia wrote. So Flavia, you're going to go and get that. And I'm just going to turn the camera around to the altar. So bit of fun here as we run around. But thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.
Very, very soon.
Love and blessings to you all.
Have a beautiful, blessed Beltane.
Blessed
be.
Mwah. Right, here we go. Now I hope I'm going to get this just turn round. There you go. And I'm going to bring it in a bit further. Oh, Anubis is there now. So he's, there you go. Hopefully I can,
With fires lit across the land, a couple leaps whilst hand in hand to mark their union and this rite, for they know tonight's the night. As they run through darkened wood and find a grassy glade, they should remember well of who's around, for bands of fairies all surround the couple as they consummate. The fairies cheer and seal the fate of plants and flowers, shrubs and trees, whilst the god's upon his knees, impregnating the mother-to-be from sowing deep his natural seed. And so in time the goddess will birth the magic that's nature on this earth.
Take care, everyone, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Have fun.
And keep safe.
Yes.
Blessed be. And lots of love.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Oh, there's a finger.